Every man reaches a moment in life when he must decide not just who he is, but who he refuses to be. You've been told to hustle, to grind, to climb the ladder, but have you ever stopped to ask yourself, who's climbing with me? Who's holding me back? Who's watering my soul? Because in the battlefield of life, it's not just your talent that determines your victory, it's your circle, your mindset, your story. And today, we rewrite it all. Write this down. Only quality people. Only quality people. You don't want everybody in your organization. You want only quality people. Here's something else he said. Mr. Brown. Yes, sir. And this is what we're going to do in this presentation. It's called presentation power, he said. Develop your communication skills. How you present yourself, how you sell yourself. He said, once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. And then he said something else. Let us say together with conviction, I want everybody to join me on this. Let us say together, you got to be hungry. Say it again, you got to be hungry. He said, what do you want to do with your life, young man? I said, sir, I want to buy my mother a home. He said, you got to be hungry. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, people that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry are relentless. People that are hungry are unstoppable. People that are hungry refuse to give up. People that are hungry. No excuse is acceptable for not making their dream become a reality. I said, I'm hungry, sir. I'm hungry to take care of my mother. I'm hungry to make her proud. I told my mother that she'd never have to pay another bill once I turn 18, and she hasn't. Mr. Washington, hungry, sir, for another life. I'm not going to die here in Liberty City. I want to travel, sir. I want to see the world. He said, you can do that, sir. He said, practice OQ only quality people. If you run around with 9 broke people. He said, I guarantee you'll become number 10. He said, work on your mindset. Listen to these audio programs I'm giving you every day. Glenn Turner, Dare to be Great. Every day, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, Jim Rohn, Every Day, Zig Ziglar, Program Your Mind, Mr. Brown, How do you plan to buy your mother a home? I said, sir, I want to become a disc jockey. He says, is that right? I said, yes, sir. He says, good, work on your mind. Here are my car keys. What do you want me to do with this? At lunchtime, go in my car, turn on the radio, and listen to Paul Harvey. Why, he's the world's greatest communicator. You want to be successful. Yes, sir. He says, listen and study people that are great communicators. That's the key to controlling your future. I said, but that's at lunchtime. In order to be successful, you got to be hungry. You got to be willing to do the things today others won't do. Are you willing to do that to be successful, to buy your mother a home? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's what you have done. You've got some goals that you want to achieve. There are some things that you want to do, and you've said to yourself, I'm willing to face the no's. You said to yourself, I'm willing for people to laugh at me. You said to yourself, I'm willing to gut this out. You said to yourself, I'm willing to make this happen. You said to yourself, I'm going to do whatever it takes to build this business. I can do it. If anybody's ever done it at any point in time in history, then what's possible for one? It's possible for me, and I'm going to do it. That's what you said to yourself. He said, listen to Paul Harvey every day. So, you want to be a disc jockey? Yes, sir. I want you to create your format. What will your personality be? What style are you going to have? I said, wait a minute, sir. I want to be a disc jockey, but I don't have a job yet. And then he said something. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. He said, "You got to expect to become successful. Let us say together, I expect to win. I expect to increase my recruitment. I expect to increase. I expect to be a great presenter. I expect to become a millionaire. It's my time. It's possible. It's necessary. It's me. It's hard. It's worth it." Nietzsche said, "If you know the why of living, you can endure almost anyhow." Your homework assignment: write down 5 reasons that will make it worth it for you. So when the tough times come, and they're going to come, when you feel like you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that's a part of the process, your reasons will be your rod and staff to comfort you, to take you through the storms of life. He told me, you want to be a disc jockey, practice on your communication skills, visualize yourself talking to thousands of people, Mr. Brown. See yourself on stage presenting, be willing to invest in yourself. Warren Buffett was being interviewed by a financial analyst on CNN. He said, "What's the most important investment a person can make today?" Warren Buffett, a billionaire with billions in the stock market, billions in real estate, looked at the reporter and said, "The most important investment you can make is in yourself. The reason you're here, the reason you invested your money, your time, your energy, your transportation, and the room, and all the cost in a so-called tough economy. Because you have the mindset of a billionaire. You know, investing in yourself, you are your most treasured asset. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on, bring that energy level up," he said. "Mr. Brown, I've done all that I can do for you. You've got to go out and face the music. You go with the things I've taught you and make it happen." I went to WMBBM radio station on Miami Beach. Milton Butterball Smith was the program director. "Hello, Mr. Butterball. My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey." He said, "Young man, you have any journalism in your background?" "No, sir, I don't." "Any experience in broadcasting?" "No, sir, I don't, but I practice every day. Let me audition for you. Let me show you how good I am." He says, "No, we don't have any job for you. How many have been rejected? I was devastated with rejection. I went back to Mr. Washington and said, they said no." He said, "Don't take it personally." Most people are so negative they have to say no 7 times before they say yes. "You got to be hungry, go back again." I said, "Yes, sir." I went back again. "Hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you, sir?" "My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey." "I know what your name is. Weren't you here yesterday?" "Yes, sir." "Didn't I tell you no yesterday?" "Yes, sir." "Then why are you back today?" "Well, sir, I didn't know whether or not somebody was laid off or somebody was fired, sir." "No one was laid off or fired. Now get on out of here." I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy like I was seeing him for the first time. "Hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. Weren't you here the last 2 days?" "Yes, sir." "Didn't I tell you no?" "Yes, sir." "Then why are you back today?" "Sir, I didn't know whether someone got sick or someone died." He said, "No one got sick or died. No one was laid off or fired. Now don't you come back here again." I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy. "Hello, Mr. Butterball. Go get me some coffee." "Yes, sir." My favorite book said, "The greatest among you will be your servant." So I became the errand boy for the disc jockeys. I was serving them. I'd go get their lunch and their dinner, and I'd come into the control room, watch them working the knobs and switches, knowing, my time will come. Let us say, together, my time will come when I'll be a top producer, when I'll come up on stage and they call my name because of my accomplishments. My time will come because I'm going to put forth the effort. On weekends, when the DJ would come out to the parking lot, the cars were clean inside and out. Hey, who did this? I did, sir. How much do you charge? Nothing, sir. I just wanted to help out. Write this down. Build relationships. Give before you ask. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. That's why you want to tell the story and ask key questions. Be strategic and experiential. Write this out. You have an energy signature. People are feeling you out. They're listening. They're watching you. He said, "Here are my car keys, young man. Diana Ross and the Supremes are coming in town, the Four Tops and the Temptations. I want you to pick them up at the airport and take them to the Fontainebleau Hotel on Miami Beach. It is my pleasure to serve you, sir." I would drive those entertainers all over Miami Beach in their big, long Cadillacs. I didn't have any driver's license, but I'd drive it like I had some. Then one Saturday afternoon, a DJ named Rockin' Roger was drinking on the air. He got so drunk he couldn't finish the show. He began to slur his words. He was about to fall out of the chair. It was Saturday afternoon. I was the only one there, looking at him through the control room window, walking back and forth. Young, ready, and hungry. I was saying, "Drink, Rock, drink." I'd have gone to get him some more if he'd asked me to. Pretty soon the phone rang. It was the general manager. "Hello, young boy, this is Mr. Klein. I know. Rock can't finish the program. I know. Will you call one of the other DJ in?" "Yes, sir." I hung up the phone and said, "Now, he must think I'm crazy." I called my mama and my girlfriend Cassandra. "You'll come out on the front porch, turn up the radio. I'm about to come on the air." I waited about 20 minutes. Then I called him back. "Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. You know how to work the controls." "Yes, sir. Go in there and segue the records, but don't you say nothing here." "Yes, sir." I couldn't wait to get old Rock out the way. I put on a fast record and said, "Look out, this is me, L.B. Triple P. Less Brown, your platter, playing Papa. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only, young and single, and love to mingle, certified, bona fide, duly qualified to bring you satisfaction and a whole lot of action. Look out, baby. I'm your love man." I was hungry. Give the old man a round of applause. I was hungry. I was hungry. I was hungry. You got to be hungry. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, "You got to be hungry." Do that right now. You got to be hungry. People that are hungry believe if you do what is easy, in a special kind of way, you want to find those men. See, there are two types of relationships. There are nourishing relationships and there are toxic relationships. Most people, when you leave here and you face the world and all of your negative, toxic family members and friends, it will knock the wind out of you. That's why you got to have 10 men to stay in your ear. So, when you break down, and you're going to break down, when you go back to the fiery furnaces of this world, and you'll forget everything you heard here, these men can stand with you. When you have your moments in the Garden of Gethsemane, and you need someone to tarry with you, these men will pray with you. When you find yourself getting weak and losing control, you need someone to get you anchored again. And these 10 men make this the greatest manpower conference ever because of the relationships that you're going to develop with 10 men who share your vision for a better future. Make it important to know what drives you and what's most important. Now there are things that used to be important to me. They're no longer important. And that's why I've been doing Operation Clean Slate, getting a lot of stuff and a lot of people out of my life. I remember when I read the book Who's the Matter with Me, I wrote down the names of the family members and friends that I communicated with most, and I asked myself the question, is this relationship relevant? Is it productive? Is it positive? Does it bring the best out of me? Does this energy challenge me, hold me accountable to a higher standard? People rub off on you. Academy Award winner Sidney Poitier said, when you go for a walk with someone, something happens without being spoken. He said, either you adjust to their pace or they adjust to your pace. Whose pace have you adjusted to? I want you to write this down, OQP only quality people. I do not allow myself to be in the company of people that I know more than. Why, if you're the smartest one in the group, you need to get a new group. Jim Rohn said something. Your life is either a warning or an example, a warning of what not to do or an example of what to do. And part of what I'm saying to my children is, be careful about who you run with. I remember Mama saying, Leslie, if you run around with 9 broke people, I guarantee you'll become number 10. And so, as you look at growing your practice, as you look at making a greater impact in your community, as you look at the things that you want to do, being involved in legacy building and making the rest of your life the best of your life, we have to constantly monitor and be mindful of who's around us and what relationships we have. People say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Not just that, it's who you know and what they know about you. Do you have the kind of reputation in the industry where people see you as a person? God said to Abraham, I'll make your name great. He didn't say, I'll make you a great man. He said, I'll make your name great. The reason that when Fab calls me, I don't call everybody back, but when he calls me, because of how I see him, and because of my relationship with him, because of his vision, because of his integrity, because of the stand that he's taken with his life. People say, practice what you preach. No, preach what you practice, and what I know about him, I'm going to answer his call. I'm going to follow up. And that's the kind of relationships, going forward in and out of the pandemic, that we have to continue to look for and develop. Some of the relationships that we need to spend less time with, there are some people, if we never saw them again, it would be too soon. Yes, when I read that you earn within $2, 0, 0, 0 to $3, 0, 0, 0 of your closest friends, I got all my broke friends out of my life. I used to be so broke I walked past the bank and tripped the alarm. And so, this is a time. You have to look at who's around me, who's the matter with you. Here's something else. As you look at yourself, look at your goals and the things that you want to do. Put yourself out there. When I decided that I wanted to speak, I didn't want to just be a speaker. My goal was to be a dominant speaker in my niche. You've decided you want to be a category king or queen. You didn't just want to be one of the players. You wanted to be the player, and that's why you're here. Iron sharpening iron. That's why you're here, learning some stuff that you don't know right now that will allow you to provide a quality of service for your customers and an experience so that when they leave there, they feel better about themselves. You're getting them in alignment with their vision of themselves and their body. They leave there feeling better about themselves, but talking about you, because of the experience and because of the relationship. That's very important during this time in the distraction economy. What do I mean by that? We're so distracted. So much stuff's happening right now. In many situations, you can't even hear yourself think. Here's something else, and I'm going to I've got something I want to send you. This is very important. the master key. When I'm looking at my life and I'm asking myself, how did I get here? Look for ways in which you can upgrade your communication. Steve Jobs said, your ability to communicate. The storyteller is the most powerful person in the world. I want you to send me. I'm going to give you something. Get the free, it's called 7 Principles of Storytelling, and it's very important. Because you have to tell the story about your business. You have to tell the story about yourself. Your ability to tell your story today in this noisy world, it matters. You have to be good at telling the story about yourself and about your practice and being in alignment with where people are, and finding out how you can communicate with them in a way that they can hear you. One of the things about your industry and most industries is that a lot of people don't know. It's an ongoing process of educating people with a story that creates a thirst. People say, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. No, but if you know how to tell a good story, you can create a thirst where they want to drink. I remember when I ran for state representative, and I had been fired from radio. People who would ordinarily have supported me when I was on the microphone said, Les, we love you, but man, you lost the microphone editorializing about all these controversial things. We can't support you, man. You don't have a chance of winning. You don't have any experience. You don't have any money to fight the party. All the media is supporting your opponent. But they missed one thing. I had a story. When I was on air as a disc jockey, I used to talk about my mother. My opponent had over $40,000 because his brother was the head of the treasury for the AFL-CIO. He had the money and the influence. I was a novice. This was my first time in the game. I remember a friend who was trying to talk me into running for office. I said, man, I can't do that. I don't know anything about politics. Perkins said, neither do the people who run. So he went and got some petitions signed and said, man, you should run. People love you. Here I am, on Friday before the election, which was Tuesday. I had around $640. He said, what you going to do with that? I said, I'm not sure. Then I got still. I said, can I go in the control room? I used to do commercials. He said, yeah. I called my mother because I used to talk about her all the time on the radio. I said, Mama, I need you to say something for me. I'm running for state representative. She said, Leslie, what kind of mess you in now? I heard because of your big mouth they fired you. I said, Mama, I need you to say something for me. I ain't got time for this mess, boy. I said, Mama, I'll send you $500. I sent it via Western Union. She said, okay, you better send me my damn laughter money. I said, okay, Mama, I'm going to record you, but you don't have to talk long. I played a song by Aretha Franklin called Holy, Holy, Holy. Come together, people, and then had her say something. She said, hello, this is Mrs. Brown. When I raised my boys to be good boys. And when they got out of hand, I beat their behinds. Please vote for my son. He's a good boy. Senator John Glenn called me and said, man, you call your mama on this. Dude, you're going to win this. And I did. I got 26,000 votes to his 3,000 votes. People said when they went in there to vote, I'm voting for Les Brown because his mama said he's a good boy. So, being able to tell your story, to be so good at it that you can't be ignored. To attract more customers, to get referrals, to create the kind of experience that people trust you, believe in you, and feel a connection with you. Because no matter what you're doing and who you're talking to, when you go out in your community and speak to people, they're asking three questions: who are you? What do you have? Why should I care? And so when you know how to tell your story, oh, the possibilities of what you can do, the impact you can make, the reputation you can develop where people seek you out and the word goes out, it's major. So I'd like to leave this, and I'm open for questions. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and sleep for it if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it. If you gladly sweat for it, and fret for it, and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famine, nor gaunt, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God you'll get it. One of the things I love that you just said is the whole idea of acceleration. This is a season of acceleration, and I would love for each one of you to register right now. Find out how you can accelerate your success and your prosperity. A lot of people have shifted themselves into neutral, and they're just coasting to the end of the year. But this is the time you need to now put it in high gear and start moving toward your destiny, your purpose, putting as much energy as you possibly can into defining how you want 2023, 2024, 2025, and onward to look. You don't just have to have an amazing year. You can have an amazing decade. You can have an amazing life, but you cannot do it by keeping your life in neutral. You've got to shift it into gear, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Part of shifting your life into another gear, a higher gear, is looking at your relationships and asking, who's helping me accelerate, and who's holding me back? This is your season, not just to survive, but to soar. To surround yourself with only quality people, to speak with purpose, to walk with power, to become the kind of leader, the kind of friend, the kind of man or woman whose presence shifts the room. You've got one shot at this life, and if you're willing to sweat for it, fight for it, and believe for it, then, with the help of God, you'll get it. So don't just live a life that looks good. Live a life that feels right. And when people ask how you did it, just tell them, I told my story and I became the person I was born to be.